Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
It's Tuesday night. That means it's another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
Whoa, what's going on, people?
Whoa! And we have Angel from That Strange Show joining us again.
It's October.
Whoa! And our very special guest is nobody.
Oops, wow, that's a little close.
Yeah, it's we had a guest scheduled.
It's like
we had a guest
video.
We had a guest scheduled. There was a conflict in his scheduling with work. He works very, very early in the morning, so he's like, "All right, I'll try to see if I can make it to stay up until 9." And he messaged me like right before I messaged you guys, being like, "He's like, I'm nodding out. I'm sorry, I can't."
I'm in my underwear right now.
Yeah, I am in my underwear. And I'm
maybe
traffic.
we do a matinee. Wicked Horror.
I told him, I'm like, well, if there's ever any time you don't want to reschedule, I'm more than happy to, because I met him. His name was Andrew Peters. He directed and wrote a short film called Knifemare, which is on YouTube right now. I'll play I told him I'm still going to play the trailer. Yeah. What is going on, J-Man? Oh, guys, hope you're as well. Yes, all is well. Thanks for tuning in.
It's October.
Yeah. I met him up at the Sci-Fi Horror Fest up in Troy, New York. Not Troy, or wherever. Vernon, New York.
Vernon.
Yeah,
Vernon,
you met Richard Mazer, our guest from last week.
Yes,
yeah, that's right.
Go check
and
that
actually,
out.
one of the actresses from this from Knifemare, I did a panel with. She was part of the panel with Genevieve Rossi. So I met her. And then we were talking, and like later on, like on one of the days, she's like, "Hey, this is my director," and like she introduced us, and we were talking about a bunch of stuff. So like, the one thing that's cool with Andrew is and Angel, you'll when you actually watch the short, you'll see visually he's also an artist as well. Like he does art. He has a website that sells a bunch of T-shirts and stuff like that. But he's a really good artist. And it's the short is very visually really cool. Lots of really awesome colors and very, very bright. And there's a little teeny bit of use of CG in this, but it's literally it's just the glowing eyes is all it is. Knifemare. Yeah, Knifemare is I'm just gonna read a quick synopsis. 4 friends on a getaway weekend visit the infamous haunted bed and breakfast. But someone or something has followed them and plans on making sure they won't be leaving. With the help of a special amulet, they will survive the night. Amulet. Will they survive the night or meet their bloody end by knife? I need new glasses, guys. October haunted eyeballs. But yeah, so so Tony, you got to watch it as well. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, like I said, the one thing that caught me was the visuals, like the color palette to it. Because at certain points, it reminded me of like, what I brought up was the one Creep Show short. What was it? Happy Birthday to Me. At one point in time, it turns these like trippy colors because you had what was it? Argento that had the dark red and stuff like that. But this had like a little bit of everything. At one point in time, it had like a rainbow look to it. Like the one girl had like every single color of the rainbow on her at one point. So I'm like, this one definitely caught my what's going on, Serge. But it definitely caught that's what I noticed most of anything. I mean, the story was interesting, like what an Airbnb kind of deal, but it's a haunted one, so I could
Mhm.
see like other stories coming from it.
Oh, totally.
But it definitely the thing that definitely caught me was just the change in color, and
Yeah.
it just
Like
kept
even
me.
like during a scene, like they'll be like really intense, and then he'll back out of it, and the like
Mm,
one of the colors will like disappear, kind of deal. It was kind of
yeah.
neat. But yeah, and also too, just how clear everything was. Like he did it's a good mixture of like vintage style, like old school style, and you know the new stuff because it was very clear. Sergio's asking, we have a guest. He had to actually cancel Sergio, so we're still talking about his movie Knifemare, which is on YouTube. So if you look at the show notes, the link to Knifemare is there. It's only about 20 something minutes, and you can watch the whole thing. And yeah, it's very interesting. He's worked on some other stuff too, but I think I don't know if this is the only one he's directed. But yeah, I dug it, and it's something where I would like to see uh, this style and like a more of like a feature.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty neat.
I'll have to
But
check
yeah,
it
I don't
out.
know.
Knife
Yeah,
Man
yeah, Knifemare. I
on
mean, I'm going to play the trailer.
the
It's the one bad
YouTube.
thing about moving things. I move stuff around, and now I can't see how long we've been on. So
6
and
minutes.
36.
yeah, that's right. No, because I usually wait till like about halfway on the show. But obviously, if we have other topics, we can play the trailer earlier.
We can
But
play
yeah,
2
so
times.
but so Tony, you agree that this could probably be expanded into a feature or maybe even sequels?
I believe so. I mean, it especially at that point in time doesn't have to follow the same people. It could be like a traveling thing, or like this place is haunted and multiple people come. So I could see it being extended.
Yeah, I agree. And I really think, like you mentioned, Argento and like all right, like Happy Birthday to Me or whatever. It was definitely I believe he's influenced by that stuff.
It was like
Have you guys seen the matinee or whatever? The last matinee?
No.
I have.
Yeah, it's if you're describing some of the colors in that was
Yeah.
Giallo influence and all that.
Well,
Yeah, that's
here's what I'm going to do. I'm
really-
going to play the trailer now, so this way Angel can see it, and so he can see what we're talking about. So I'm going to play the trailer for Knifemare. Again, this is streaming on YouTube. The full short film is there, and we'll be right back.
Knifemare. 4 friends on a getaway weekend.
He was hearing voices telling him to murder his whole family.
Let me assure you, miss, that the murders that you heard about that happened to you, it's all true.
Knifemare. But an uninvited guest
He shoots her right in the hand, splattering her brains all over the pillows.
has come.
He has killed, and he will kill again.
To ruin the fun. Knifemare. If you don't wake up, it's because you're already dead. Knifemare.
Oh my! Yeah, so Knifemare.
I like that.
They you see what we're talking about with the colors and everything.
Yeah.
And it's I mean it's I thought it was done well especially for a short. They really kind of sum up a story in a pretty short amount of time,
Yeah, it had like a little bit of street trash feel.
That's another.
Yeah. I like that.
That one's fun.
I like to. I'm gonna definitely watch it because I do like the approach to the old school, like coming soon from Night Force home video.
Yeah. There's another director that he works with that he's actually we've been going back and forth about getting him on. He's got some cool stuff in the works as well. But actually, the one of the actresses in this one, it was Leanne Seda. She played like so Tony, the girl that he cheats with, like not the one he cheats on, but the one he cheats with. That's actually his wife in real life. But but she's coming up and she's in some cool stuff. Is it Half Dead, Bloody Island? She's in They Watch. She's going to be in They Watch, which is one that we've talked to a
Kate
few
Kiddo.
people about. Yeah.
Who?
Speaking
Kate
of,
Kiddo.
it was her birthday yesterday. So
Happy
Oh.
birthday! Shout out.
happy belated. Well, the
Yeah.
second actually, October 2nd, and recently was Chrissy Ray's birthday as well.
Oh
Happy
yeah.
birthday, Chrissy Ray.
Happy birthday, Christy Ray. So yeah, so the They Watch is another one of those movies with Hannah Fierman, Demi Maffei, Kate Kiddo, everyone.
Mhm.
Xander
Yeah.
is in it, so it's and Daniel John. And actually they're coming on, some of them are coming on next week for
Are we talking about
I'm not
the macabre?
no, it's a different one. But the guy that was in Blair Witch that we've had on a couple times that I made fun of
Okay.
for a tree falling on his truck,
Mm.
he's gonna be coming back on. I
Mm.
like him. I felt bad after I made fun of him. But anyways, go check out Knifemare. It's a good time. Fun is had by
Yeah.
all.
And it's on YouTube, so
Yeah.
you don't have to go searching too far for it.
Andrew Peters.
That's
I do-
right.
I do like it. I like the way it looks.
Yes. So Tony, you've been working on your 31 days half October. You usually do it on YouTube. Because you're blowing up on TikTok. Now you're doing it on TikTok.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point in time too, just I don't know, with the algorithm and stuff, my YouTube view, I just haven't done much on YouTube. I'll do reviews if I get a movie into review, but YouTube just isn't the same. I don't know, after how many years, it's just,
It's
different.
a
So
whole
I'm like,
nice-
why not? It's more because I would do like 5-6 minute reviews on a movie, but now
Mhm.
I cut it down to like a minute and a half, kind of just hit certain points and stuff. So
Just
if
fucking.
you're
What's
interested, if
up?
you're looking for different movies, I try to do more independent stuff or more movies that maybe people haven't heard of.
Mm.
So if you're looking for that, definitely check out my TikTok. Tony has 9 fingers, and I'll be doing a one horror movie review for every day of the month. Wolfie is still doing his on his YouTube.
On
There's a whole
YouTube,
bunch of people do it on there too. I'm sure Super Retro Throwback Reviews is doing it. I know that he does it every year, but it's definitely, especially for some people that, some people like watching the same movies every October, which is I
Mhm.
no problem because I do almost the same. But if people are looking for movies that they haven't seen before, just check on YouTube. Like I said, check on TikTok, and you'll be able to find plenty of movies to watch for, not only this year, but future, Octobers down the road.
Yeah. Sergio's asking if it's your birthday, Tony.
It is not my birthday.
Oh, well, happy
Some-
birthday anyways, Tony.
Someday.
It's everyone else's birthday.
Belated.
Someday.
Yep. One of these days, it'll be your birthday.
Your
But
birthday.
one of these days. So the one you did today was Dave has a maze, or Dave made a maze.
Dave made a maze.
Oh yeah.
That one's
So
fun.
that one-
I like that one.
Definitely like has that weirdness to it. Not along the lines of like the ones I compare it to is like those ones that are just so like Greasy Strangler.
Yeah.
Not that it's anywhere
different.
near it,
It's
but it's
card-
just
it's
one of those-
cardboard. Yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's like, what is going on here? Like, and anybody that hasn't seen it, a guy makes a maze. You have like this big card. Well, when you look at it, it's just like a couple
Cardboard
little
box.
cardboard
Yeah.
boxes that it doesn't look too impressive. But he's like, I'm lost in this maze, and his friends think that he's the breast and all this stuff, and they try to talk him out of it, to come out of this maze, and he's like, I can't. I'm lost. So they ended up going to this maze, and it's a lot bigger than you think. So you walk into this thing, and there's booby traps and stuff, and the way that people die in this, it's very interesting, like yarn coming out of everywhere.
Instead of blood. Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting take on a like horror comedy action adventure.
I'd seen it on something. I think I mentioned
Shudder, I
it to
think
you.
it's on
It
Shudder,
was
I think.
before it was on Shudder. I saw it
Oh,
on
was it?
something
Oh.
else. Yeah, I saw it on something else, and I think I mentioned it to you. And
Yeah,
I
you
think
did
then you
mention
tracked
it.
it down. Yeah, and then now it's on Shudder, and it's it's fun. It's completely different. So I mean, the one thing that always turned me off about the 31 days thing is the fact that I forget a lot of things about the movies. So like I usually generally would do a review about something right after I watch it. So it's like I'm going to have to watch 31 movies, like a different movie a day. And it's like sometimes that's not a problem. Sometimes it is, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing too, I think it's a little bit easier for me now is like instead of doing a full 5-minute review, like I said, doing a short one, I don't have to remember like everything, just the bullet points where
Right.
you know it's almost like a written review where it's like if you like this or whatever, you'll probably enjoy this. The other one I would have to sit there and watch everything. I wrote down everybody that starred in it, or at least a top build and stuff. So it makes it a little bit easier. But still gets a point across where people can actually.
Yeah. How long are they're like 3 minutes long now, right? The videos on TikTok.
You can go 3 minutes, but usually mine are like a minute and a half. These reviews.
Yeah, you just come in. What's up?
What the dilly?
With the dilly, I watched a bunch of fucking movies.
Yeah, the movie tastic over here.
That's what I tried to do on my YouTube thing would be in alphabetical order, and that got a little bit tough, especially if nothing came out for.
Especially because you never remember the alphabet, and you got to count them out.
Exactly. I was like, what letter? A? Does A start the alphabet? And then sometimes I forgot.
So yeah, go check out Tony's TikTok if you want to check that stuff out and join the crew. How many subscribers are you up to now?
18.1.
Woo!
Million?
Yeah. If you need a manager, let me know. I'll put a suit on.
You need a manager? I can't help you.
I'll put a suit on, but like can't talk to my boy Tony to you.
Yeah.
Sign here, sign there.
There's a movie that came out. I believe it came out today, either today or last week, that you actually might enjoy, Kevin, because it stars one of your favorite people. You might have him tattooed on your arm. But I don't think this was put out on Blu-ray before. But Mosquito finally came out. Synapse Films put that out, so that one came out today. Like I said, I think it came out today.
Oh no, that was Mosquito Man. Sorry,
Mosquito Man. Is that going to be like the next like wave of like cryptids? Is going to be a Mosquito Man? That was Mothman. Now it's Mosquito Man.
Yeah.
And the tagline is "This guy sucks." Mosquito Man. Zika. So. Anyways. So Angel, you said you had some things that we could bring up on the show. Yeah. What do you got?
I went and saw Smile over the weekend. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. I don't know if you're familiar with its origins. Came from
somewhat. And then I saw that they're doing like the campaign that they're doing where they're having people go to baseball games, just like staring at the cameras, just smiling, like no reaction at all. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it originated from a short called Laura Hasn't Slept, which we covered a couple years back. Then I saw that it got picked up. That the short starred Lou Temple, and then the girl that is in the new movie. But yeah, no, it was awesome seeing it like from what it was in the short to like the continued universe that it is now, and like what I'm thinking, because I had a conversation with Brandon from PVD Horror. We were talking about it. No spoilers because I do want people to go check it out. But I feel like they can continue on with the premise. Yeah, it's one of those deals. But first time director, writer, he wrote it, directed it, Parker Finn. So it's fucking awesome. Got picked up. Now he's national.
100
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, it's for me it's the craft.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? So it's like to see like. I found this short on like MailChimp.com site, like with a bunch of other shorts, and it just stood out to me. It was like,
but if it's your first like feature and it's already made it to the big screen,
it's like holy fuck.
Some people take a long time to do that. Sometimes
people never get to it. Yeah,
and that was the thing. Like when we covered it, I was like, dude, this is legit. Like. This needs to be a feature. And like me and Ryan were talking about it, and he's like how it was shot, the dialogue, everything. And then like a year and a half later, it was like Laura Hasn't Slept gets picked up for an adaptation to get turned into a feature. It had what's his name? Cal Penn stars in it. What's A-Train from The Boys? The fast guy.
I've never watched it.
No, all right.
I'm bad at things.
And then some other dudes. I'm sure you've seen the kid who plays the. Ever seen Interrogation? No,
I don't think so.
Damn, you guys did not do your homework.
Nope, not at all. Well, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Right before you're like, I got some juicy stuff to talk
I got
about.
some juicy stuff. But yeah, it was great. A lot of awesome jump scares, and yeah, go check it out. It's playing right now.
And that's what I follow a few horror movie groups, and there was one message that started off. It's like, you know, I was going into Smile, think it was going to be like every other jump scare thing, and then like this next thing, they're like, it was completely different.
Yeah,
go see it, because what I thought it was going to be
Nope.
turned into something completely different. But then you get other people that are like, you know, it's kind of slow here and there and whatever, and you got your naysayers. But for what I see, for the most part, it's definitely like up there. But then the other movie we're talking about before, Barbarian, I don't think I've heard one bad thing about that. But I definitely want to check out Smile too.
Well, that's the thing. Like I always say, like, you know, like, is it just a thing of like attention? Like, you know, do you have a short attention span?
Well,
or like, like
that's the thing, is when it came down to movies like The Witch and came down to movies like It Follows, and people were like blowing it up. I don't know if that made me like expect too much. But I generally didn't like either of those movies, and then people are like, oh, you're just saying that. I'm like, no, I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm not that guy. And you left out like the one person that's on the cast that I would be like, yeah, I'm going to see it just for her. Sosie Bacon.
Yeah. Who's that?
Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
She does she's been on this podcast called Take Your Shoes Off a bunch of times, and like
Take Your Shoes Off.
Yeah, Take Your Shoes Off. It's with a stand-up comic who does this podcast. That's great. And she did like an ad for some of his merch, and like she comes out of this room and she's like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon's daughter, and I take I take giant shits." And then like she goes into like the whole like ad read. It's like, wow, that's crazy. But she's wicked funny, and she's in some show on Amazon that is really well, like it's about like kids with autism and stuff.
That's on what channel?
I think it's on Amazon. Like on Prime.
The crazy thing is now, speaking of like the next generation, now you have like Lily Rose Depp, and you have Ethan Hawke's daughter, and Kevin Bacon's like, it's just like the next.
That's Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Yeah, she's been acting for a while. Like she's just kind of under the radar.
Well, she was
born in 92.
She was fucking dope.
Yeah. No, she's great. Like she's great. And I mean, I like Kevin Bacon as well, but I'm like, I don't know. I think I like her better. Like,
yeah, look at me. I was the whole time like, wow. This is like just newly discovered star is blowing my mind right now. And you guys are like, oh, that's Kevin, but she's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah, like her mom is also like a famous actress and stuff too. It's not just Kevin Bacon. I don't remember who her mom is, but Kevin Bacon's wife. How about that? Maple Bacon. Bits Bacon.
Yeah.
Now it'll be what is it? 6 degrees of
Sosie Bacon.
So yeah.
But yeah, go check that out.
I want to.
And then I started Dahmer. You guys start Dahmer yet on Netflix?
I'm a few episodes in.
What episode? There's a few. 3.
I actually fell asleep during 3. No, I was legit. I was like beat. But and then my wife found out that I watched some of it, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, we're supposed to watch that together."
Hurry up, woman.
Yeah, that's all I see on like my Facebook feed is Dahmer.
Yeah. So Kevin Bacon's her dad, and Kira Sedgwick is her mom. So yeah, Hollywood royalty right there.
Yeah. You're like Sosie Bacon. I'm like, never heard of her, but this
you're like, and that is
great,
and I care why. Yeah. But anyways, no, it's from what I've seen of Dahmer, I really dug it. But it's one of those things too, where it's just like you gotta be paying attention.
It's. I mean, I knowing the story and like reading up on it over the years, and like everybody, it's been adapted a bunch of times, but like
yeah.
So what is it, like a
it's just
documentary series, or is it like a
no? It's based
it's like a dramatization, basically.
Yeah.
Of
It's
yeah.
it like jumps around where I'm at right now. Like it goes from like the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, and all depends. And it shows like different like eras right now of it went to when he was a little kid, all the way till he was a teenager, which was kind of cool too when they showed him as a teenager. Because you remember the movie My Friend Dahmer? They did the teenage years of Dahmer, like, and then like that movie ends at like when he looks at the hitchhiker, when he's driving by when he just got his license. But they even show that part in here. But the hair, everything looks the same. He sounds like the Peters is just a maniac.
Yeah, he's so Tony, are you a fan of like American Horror Story?
Yes.
So he's like from a bunch of the seasons of that. Who plays Jeffrey Dahmer? Yeah. Yeah, but one thing that I've been seeing on TikTok actually is people that are comparing the actual footage like in court to like footage that like what it was recreated for the show.
Yeah.
And it's like spot on. Like it's ridiculous. I saw photos of his apartment. It's spot on to the apartment in the episodes. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. They like went down to like where a box was placed and everything. Like everything. Yeah. It's crazy good from what I've seen. And again, my wife made me stop.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that like, we're like, I watched like 2 in a row, but then after that I was just like, okay, that's
I need to go take a bath. Yeah.
That's enough. I'm like reading it, but like seeing like the whole like just the whole thing and like how they shot some of the stuff, like the haziness of like the drug effect. And it was just so like, holy fuck.
Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, but remember I was talking about one of the actresses that was in Knifemare that I talked to at the con. She just commented, "Hey everyone, I'm kind of obsessed with the Dahmer series." So yeah, she's in Knifemare. She's awesome, and there's another reason to go check out Knifemare right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but he canceled tonight because he's a sleepy boy because he's got work. I said I told him that we can reschedule, and maybe when we reschedule, you can come on too.
Yeah,
how about that?
Hang out, talk Dahmer again.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, no, I was checking that out, and then
here's a movie that you don't really have to check out. The Munsters.
Oh, thanks.
I've been trying to check that out for a while.
It's not horrible. There people that are ripping on it. They're people that have been ripping it apart. It's not horrible, but it's not from the trailer, what I thought it was going to be. Then I saw the trailer and I was like, And it's a little bit better than the trailer. Not by much.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard,
if you're looking for a little entertainment, I say watch it.
Yeah.
I say go watch anything else. Go watch Mr. Boogedy again. How about that?
Yeah, check out that episode. Richard Mazer.
How about did anybody watch Hocus Pocus 2?
My wife is actually doing that right now over a friend's house. Watching
you didn't, but you didn't watch it.
No.
You refuse? Is this one?
No, I've never seen the first one. So
that's what I was gonna say. How old were you when the first one came out? 93.
Too old. I was like very close to graduating from high school.
Yeah. So I was 12. I was 12.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Tony was in diapers still.
I was 8.
No,
sorry.
But yeah. Did you saw it, Tony?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I liked it better than I expected, to tell you the truth.
Same.
Because I didn't know what to expect. So it's like I thought the worst, but I don't want to say exceeded my expectations, but it definitely lived up more than exactly. So it's just one of those things where because people are saying they changed the story up. I'm like, what are you talking about? They didn't
Well,
change
supposedly there's a
anything.
book somewhere that's
Oh.
like an actual sequel that was supposed to be with like Max and like Grown Up, and like they didn't bring them back, and then so they rewrote because there's like an actual canon something out there written
Mm.
book.
Didn't know
So
that.
that's why they're like, oh, you changed it, but supposedly it has nothing to do with that canon, and they just wrote this. Which is essentially by the end of the movie, it's a passing of the torch. It's 30 years since the last one.
Right.
So it's like, it's for a new generation. So it's kind of like the same thing what they did with the Transformers, they did with the Ninja Turtles. They've done with a lot of the old stuff where they want to bring in new young people.
But the only thing is, at this point in time, it kind of flipped it on its head. It's like they became. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but it was like the ending kind of ruined it. If the ending was a little bit different, I think I would have liked it a little bit more.
I saw some people saying that with the ending, it leaves it for a 3.
Yeah,
like for a possible
Well,
third.
yeah, but
100%. They're already doing it. They're already planning it.
Okay.
But I can see it, but it I don't know. It's the way, unless they take it in a different direction, I think they probably would.
I think what's going to end up happening is like a Sabrina the Teenage Witch types, like where it's like good witch, like it's not going to be like the evil thing, because like without giving too much away, it was kind of like like those old stories of like the thorn in the paw and the lion's paw, like that. So you don't know why they're acting out, but once you realize what the issue is, then you kind of be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But to tell, like I said, it was I wasn't expecting much, but it definitely was better than I expected.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've heard mixed things. I've heard more positive than negative, but I've heard a little of both. But they're actually doing a I was watching Real Ass Podcast, which is Luis J. Gomez and Zach Amico. It's on whatever. I watch it.
YMH?
No, it's part of Gas Digital. So and I guess they're actually doing, like, there's only going to be 2 winners. They're doing a thing where you can actually use the house from Hocus Pocus as a bed and breakfast for like $35 a night, but you have to. There's only 2 people that are going to be able to get it. So they're doing Skank Fest coming up, and they're like, if you can get this for me, you have all access passes to Skank Fest, no questions asked, blah, 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 whatever, because he wants to bring his son. But I don't know. Skank Fest is like the 15th, so I don't think that's happening.
And then on the 15th?
Yeah.
Oh, no, just to piggyback off of the Hocus Pocus talk, our buddies in the Horror Squad podcast, they're doing a sign-in and a screening with Omri Cats in Salem. Let me see. Let me bring it up here. Looks like at Silver Moon Comics in Salem, and then at Cinema Salem, they're doing a screening with a Q&A at 7 p.m. I think the tickets already sold out, but
nice.
If they haven't,
if so, that's awesome.
Yeah,
if it is sold out, good for them.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have Prince and all that kind of stuff.
Prince is gonna be there too.
Prince. That you can hang on your on your wall. Yeah, you can hang on your wall.
I was just like, what? How do they finagle that?
Yeah, but
is he buried in Salem?
Chris Butler from Chris Butler Designs. I don't know if you have any of his stuff.
I know his name.
Yeah, he does some awesome work. He designed a Day of Hocus Pocus with Omri Cats, and it's a whole thing. But shout out to them because they got featured in Bloody Disgusting and all that.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, they deserve it. They deserve it. They're a quality, solid podcast for sure.
I like those. I like them.
Speaking of like people watching the same thing, Hocus Pocus is definitely one that I watch every October. Nightmare Before Christmas is another one. Ernest Scared Stupid is another one.
Of course.
So it's like those are the couple. Halloween Town. The Scary Godmother is another one. So there's a couple staples that I try not to watch during the years just because I wait till October.
Did you add Hubie Halloween?
I own it, so I
Yeah,
didn't add it yet, but I want to watch it. I want to rewatch it because that one.
It was way better than I was expecting. Way better.
Because a lot of the stuff, like later Adam Sandler stuff, was just like, some was all right. But then I watched that, and it just the tropes from all the other movies that he had. I was just like, I love this thing because it brought back so many of like the ones that I love, like the early stuff. So
yeah, there we go. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Every day, I agree 100%. I don't know about you guys, but I saw it the original release in the theater. I was all about it. I had a bunch of merchandise that wasn't labeled as Disney. When it first came out, it wasn't labeled as Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of merchandise. I gave it all to my niece without thinking, including like a big plush mayor of Halloween Town that his head spun and everything. And I'm like, I kind of want all that stuff back. I ended up getting like I had a couple of miniatures that were same deal. They were put out by Applause. Disney's name was not on the packaging anywhere, and I ended up selling them for a good amount of money on eBay years ago. But yeah, and it's this is back when Suncoast Video was around. I used to go there to buy all that stuff. Yeah.
Suncoast. Wow.
Yeah, it was back in the day, back in the dizzle.
That's when West Coast Videos was running around too.
Yep, I think it was Touchstone then. Yeah, I agree. It was definitely it was something. I think the VHS I have doesn't say Disney on it either. I think I still have that too.
And that's one of those movies that you'll never.
It's a loaded question right there. You guys, in your opinion, what's the most underrated horror film? I can tell you some horror movies that I think are not acknowledged ever, that I think deserve more recognition, and maybe not. People don't bash on them.
I know one for sure.
Yeah, I know you know. No, it's one that I've been bitching about because I want it on Blu-ray, and they've never released it on Blu-ray.
Freaked?
Nope.
No, I have Freaked on Blu-ray. What are you talking about? It's the movie May. Yeah.
The doll parts.
Yeah, isn't that? I think that's Lucky McGee who made that movie.
I don't remember.
But yeah, May is one that I think more people should know about. A lot of people don't. I mean, there's a bunch of movies that I think are overrated. I can tell you that.
The one that I remember watching, and I was just like, when did this come out? And it came out like 10 years ago. Is Splinter.
That was a teenage werewolf. That was a underrated one for Hanover Archibald. I don't know if that's a real name. If it is, that's an amazing name.
I love it.
I'm like, that disturbed. Oh, you talk about May? That disturbed you to no end? I loved it.
But what's it called? Splinter is one I think everybody should check out.
Is that the one with the hand on the tub?
Yeah, it's a creature. Yeah, it's a creature feature where these things kind of take over your body. It's really. I was like, when did this come out? And it was like I said, 10 years before, and I'm just like, how did I not even hear about this movie? So that one I think is really good. The movie called
Who's in that? Who's in that one?
There's not. I don't think there's big name. I gotta
Splinter. You said
Splinter. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look it up. Continue.
The movie called Last Shift. That's put out by, I think Magna put that out.
Wait a minute. Just real quick. Hanover Archibald is in Knifemare 2. It's Steve. So which one is Steve? Is that your husband? Or no? I don't know. Continue, Tony. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Last Shift is one that I think everybody should check out, where it's like
her husband.
It's a haunted what do you want to call it? Police station. They're moving precincts. So there's a rookie cop that has to take care of this precinct at night just to make sure nothing's stolen. They still haven't moved a lot of files, so it's her by herself. And there must have been crazy stuff that happened here because now it's haunted and just crazy things start happening. So I say check out Last Shift. What's another good one? Starry Eyes.
Starry Eyes, yeah, that's a good one. Last Shift, is that the one where if it's the one I'm thinking, is that the one with the cover with the weird like pentagram face?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't get over the cover. I never hit play because I don't like the
Oh,
cover.
there's one scene that creeps me out to no end, where it's
Right.
like a bunch of people in this room just singing, and
Mhm.
it's just like them. That one creep. It's very there's very sometimes jump scares, but not a lot. It's just like the ambiance of it. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. But Last Shift, I say definitely check out. That's another one that I think is like underrated.
I got one.
Last Shift sounds like a night at the museum.
Yes, yeah.
It's exactly. It's like it's a
DJ
horror
Remark is in
comedy.
the chat room. What's up, DJ? We had
What
him
up,
on a couple weeks
DJ?
ago.
What up, DJ?
So,
All right, I got one that
All right.
I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and that's Hagasusa, Heathen's Curse, 2017 movie. It's written by Lucas Feigelfeld.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, but it takes place in a remote mountain village in the 15th century Alps. Yeah, it's a fucked up movie.
The first Phantasm is underrated. I think it doesn't I mean, I think it's a classic, but
Yeah.
I think it's ignored a lot when it comes to talking about franchises. And I'll be honest with you, there's more solid Phantasm movies than there are Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. So, and I have a Leatherface tattoo on my arm. So
You do.
I'm just saying. I'm a TCM man.
TCM and Leather Daddy.
Yeah, I'm a leather daddy. Yeah. No, but I agree though. No, Phantasm. That's like the tall man scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, tall man. That's what I tell my my oldest watched Phantasm for the first time. He's like, "That's what you always talk about. Tall man's coming. The tall man's coming."
Yeah.
The one thing that's evading me is that little like silver ball set that they have.
Yeah,
I want that
that's
thing.
wicked expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it, like the that sphere, like that affected me as a kid. Like going into someone's head and just like blood splurting out. Have you seen that cosplayer who cosplays as that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because this dude walks around and it's just like it's like on wires and stuff, just like
he's just
blood
like,
splurting out.
"What's up, guys?"
Phantasm 2 was great. Rare case of a sequel being better than the original for him. We got What's Up, Fellas? Is that Don Wolf? Is that
Don
one of your
Wolf.
boys?
Yeah, that's one of
I'm
my
gonna say
guys.
that Avatar thing looks like one of the things you've done.
Yeah, it's from Flovatar guys. What's up, man?
What up? So yeah, I mean that's a good thing too. Like so DJ mentioned Phantasm 2. By the way, DJ, you're in Florida, right? Everything cool? Want to make sure that I'm sure everything's good. You have internet. Hopefully there was no. Yeah, some parts are. I work for a federal credit union, and we actually had to have a meeting today about disaster relief. So yeah, we've got a bunch of members that are affected, but for sure. But that's an interesting thought too. A sequel that was better than the original.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what about a remake that you think is more solid than the original?
Maniac.
I was gonna say Maniac is one that's on my list for sure.
I haven't seen the new one or the.
Oh my god, it's so good.
The one with the Elijah Wood.
I haven't seen it.
Where it's like it's like a third person view.
Yeah,
it's like
you don't see his face. The only time you see his face in the movie is when he's looking in a reflection, like in a mirror or in like a window.
The spoon.
Yeah, it's literally you're seeing it from his perspective the whole time.
Nice. Brutal. That one I definitely enjoyed, and even the Evil Dead. To tell you the truth, the Evil Dead remake. I think
that wasn't better than the original, but that was better than I expected it to be. Angel's looking at us like he wants to rip our faces off.
Oh, I'll just.
I enjoyed the remake of Evil Dead. I'm sorry. That Angel just stopped talking to us now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. I have too much bullshit in my ears. Am I right, guys?
I gotta. No, it's all right. People have their opinions, you know. Like some.
I thought it was a good movie. It was solid. It was tons of blood. Yeah, it's not the same movie. Whatever.
Yeah. What you talking about? The new that was like, oh, the most gallons of bloods ever.
Yeah.
For all eternity with the chick. That was wasn't that supposed a continuation instead of a remake?
Yeah. It's like a retell or whatever. I don't even know what to call it anymore.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna take the Necronomicon and we're gonna move it over here, which is Hocus Pocus. was telling my kids, I said that's the book.
Hmm.
You know.
But what else?
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
So
We're judging you on your taste because you judged us on ours.
what'd you say? You like books? Fuck out it.
Yeah. Books is for smart people. Yeah, look at this guy. He knows how to read. Whatever. Yeah, the opening scene of the remake of Evil Dead got me. I said, "Oh, this is going to be good." I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah, who wins, Carrie or 11 from Stranger Things?
Carrie. I say.
I don't know. You don't really see too much of her like powers, besides
I don't know.
That's good though, because you don't know what to expect.
Besides locking the gym and killing everybody inside.
Also, too, we've seen more of 11, so like we've seen more of what she can do. We just don't know what Carrie can do because we haven't followed her around for 40 seasons.
For me, she just got that I hate my mother rage and like you know, like how dare you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're all gonna laugh at her. I'm like, am I right?
They're all gonna laugh. Speaking of Adam Sandler,
yeah, I know, right? No,
no. But I would say Carrie. I mean, that'd be a good remember Celebrity Deathmatch? They used to do that. That would be a good one. So 11 against Carrie.
Claymation. I missed that.
Claymation. I'll allow it.
So anybody born after when did that end? Probably like mid 2000s.
I don't know. They should probably too long. I think those were reruns. I think
those
were reruns.
And I think they had a PlayStation 1 game of it.
Why?
And then
Sergio, we'll talk about it later. It's nothing to do with what we're talking about. So we'll talk about it later, Sergio. All right.
But
anyways,
yeah.
What happened?
Screech. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's been anything else. I've been really kind of it's weird. I haven't been on Shudder in a while, and so I was poking around trying what.
I did. No, speaking of Shudder, sorry to cut you off, but there is something coming to Shudder that just got on my radar. Deadstream. It's found footage horror. That says pushes the boundaries for the found footage horror genre, but it says come for the Blair Witch Project, stay for the Evil Deads. The trailer looks bananas. So check it out.
VHS style.
Yeah, the Deadstream. It looks like he's definitely like a ghost hunter because that's the dead giveaway in the trailer. He's got GoPros set up all over this haunted house and mayhem. But yeah, it looks like a lot of practical effects and
I'm looking at some images. Yeah, there was one where it looks like a dead guy and it looks like they're picking his nose. Or no, he's on the ground. There's a zombie finger up his nose. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it looks fun. It looks hilarious and it looks
Here's
awesome.
a little something for
the
gamers around us. Sooner or later, this will be coming out. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Mm-hmm.
I see that like all over TikTok. I think that'll bring like another resurgence, which I don't mind because Killer Clowns is my favorite horror movie. So
that fucks with that. I fucks with the Killer Clown.
Because for the longest time, no one knew what the hell it was.
That's not true.
Well,
it was less known by people's moms. Yeah.
Let Tony believe that it was his coveted gem. This is my movie.
Just like I found Primus. I was the first person who heard them.
You didn't know. You didn't even know that. You thought you were the only one that ever watched Freaked for the longest time. You're like, ain't nobody watching this movie.
No, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
No, it's more of a like, hey, have you seen this? And people were like, I don't know. And then I would explain like, yeah, I've seen that movie. That movie's crazy.
Yeah, they used to play that movie every night at around 11:30 at night on HBO.
That's where I first saw it. I saw it on HBO. I recorded it on HBO, and I destroyed that tape until I was able to get one like a legit copy.
I watched that movie in bits and pieces, out of order, like just like
So I think that's an underrated movie for people that haven't. I mean, there's a lot of people that maybe wouldn't even consider it like. I mean, it's a practical effects monster movie. It's a monster feature, but that one's great if you ever get a chance to check it out.
It's Sideshow.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. Styrofoam Cup. There you go.
Yeah, it stars
Soccer
that
the
crazy.
Sockhead, Rastafarian eyeballs. You know, got to do what you got to do.
Literally all over the place.
And then Keanu Reeves uncredited.
Yeah, Ortiz the dog boy.
And then Johnny Knoxville was also uncredited as well.
Well, he played the scenes where Ortiz the dog boy wasn't speaking.
Yeah.
Ortiz was played by Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
There's another movie that I don't want to say is underrated, but definitely on the lines of we're talking about craziness and like with Freaked. Check out Society. That one's a weird one for sure.
Especially the last should be practical. Give me more Pumpkinhead.
Yes, yes. Pumpkinhead.
But the last like 10-15 minutes of Society is just over the top.
Knock knock, but that may count more as a thriller. Yeah.
Speaking of Keanu.
Well, that's the thing though, is like some of the, I mean, I don't know, like we consider horror movies that have to be monster movies or whatever, but I don't know, like some of the thrillers out there are the ones that actually scare me. So that's horrific to me.
Like Your Next or stuff like that, where it can actually happen.
Well, yeah, I always refer back to Silence of the Lambs when people like don't want to admit that that's a horror movie. It is. Movie scares the shit out of me.
I mean, thriller is definitely a subgenre of horror, I believe.
Yeah, it's also a really good Michael Jackson song. Thriller.
By the way, so anybody listening, this is why you have to watch the show live, because two of us
it's a lot of
part of the Thriller dance.
And I'm just saying you should do that on your TikTok.
And I'm doing
watch your numbers go down.
I'm doing jazz hands right now, so you're missing out.
Yeah. Anyways, is there anything we had mentioned? You saw a Smile. We both want to see Barbarian, and actually, Tony, you said that you want to see it as well. So Tony, you haven't been to a movie theater in a very, very long time. Is there anything that would get you to go to a movie theater?
I don't think so. Honestly, I guess it's like phase that. Plus, that was the thing. I was never really huge into it. Like if my friends wanted to go, I'd go, but nothing ever. The last movie I watched in the theater was The Hobbit, the second Hobbit. So what is it? Desolation of Smaug. Mm-hmm. That was literally the last movie I saw in the theater. I don't know. It depends on experience. Like say if I'm the only person in the theater at that point in time, I'd be fine. I always get the person on their phone, the tall person who sits in front of me, people, running and yelling. And it's like, I want to sit and enjoy the freaking movie. And I can't because there's someone that's ruining it at some point in time. So there's been plenty of times where it's just like the phone's going off or people talking. It's like, could you please just pay attention? Like, I want to enjoy it. You don't, I guess.
You just described like an episode of Seinfeld, bro. That's fucking. Yeah, that's where do you live in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Just rowdy. Can't even.
Where do you go to? You drive to Camden to go to movies or something? Is that what you do?
My boy Tony can't even watch a fucking movie.
And it's just like, come on, like, and there was one time where there was just this group of people and they were running up and down the
well, I can tell you, as a guy that's gone to movies, I went to movies a lot before the pandemic, and I've gone a handful of times since the pandemic. There really isn't that many people at the movies anymore. So it's like I've literally gone to see movies where I've been the only person in the theater. Like,
well, my stuff, when I went to go see Smile, that show was sold out. So
really, wow,
yeah.
How big of a theater?
I don't even know. A lot of seats.
Really?
It's the big one by my house, Cinemark.
All right. So we go to one theater, like not that close, but it's also not that far. It's maybe about like 35-40 minutes. You have to take the highway to get there, but it's a very small theater. Mm-hmm. And I think because it's not like the big crazy recliners and stuff like that, less people tend to go there, even though the prices are less and they have the best popcorn in town. But we go there for movies, and like literally, that's the theater I've gone to where there's been nobody. The big theaters I used to go to all the time, the Showcase and stuff like that. I haven't been back since the pandemic.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is just, I mean, little, I guess, hot take. I usually sneak in some candy and stuff, but just the prices and stuff.
You're a thief. You're a filthy goddamn thief. You know that's how the theater make all their money, right? Is off the concessions. That's why it costs $47 for a soda.
Wow,
they don't make any money off the tickets.
They're like,
and I'll let you know right now, this theater that we go to that has the best popcorn, it's right next to a Dollar Tree. So we do the same thing. But we also buy popcorn, so whatever.
Yeah. Not even $23. So not even Terrifier 2 coming out October 6th will get you out.
I don't know if it's actually going to go into like bigger.
It's playing at the Cinemark right here. One show, 6:30.
What?
Yeah.
God damn your face! I gotta see if it's in my area. I don't think it is.
If not, drive up, bro. We'll hold hands. And
what day of the week? It's gonna be on like a Wednesday at noon?
October 6th. No, it's at night. I think it's like 6:30.
October 6th. So in 2 days.
Yeah. Coming up.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me think about it.
I like extra butter. I like extra butter.
So
my parents
next.
Hanover says my parents had to smuggle snacks in all the time. For sure. I know
we used to go to the movies a lot when I was like, 10 to 15 or whatever. And my mother used to sneak in this. I don't know how. Like they didn't say anything.
Like, wow, that's a large purse. It's a wheel. It's a suitcase on wheels.
She used to have a diaper bag, and she would walk in with us like 10-year-old kids, and it's like, how did they
like looking at like this kid? This kid can't stop shitting, and they're just like, okay, yeah. You're just like, oh my butt. No.
But she would stuff like full bags of popcorn and stuff in there. It's just like.
And back, you have to. We did the same thing, like candy, all that stuff.
I'd go to the Showcase, and like the one that's in my area, like it's right next, like right up the escalator is a not a Chipotle, a Qdoba. Mm-hmm. So you'd be watching the movie, and the movies, you get into it, and all of a sudden you just smelling Qdoba. You're like, God damn it, that smells delicious, because people would just like sneak in Qdoba. It works, right? But my dad used to take us to the drive-ins all the time. So
drive-ins are fun.
Bring whatever you want.
That's one thing I've never been to that that's on my
really. List. We still have them around here.
Well, I know New York still has one, which is like 45. I think there's one with like 45 minutes away. That's like a bucket list. I always wanted to check it out.
So my dad took me to see Christine at the drive-ins.
That's cool.
I was a child, and there's a movie about possessed cars, and you're in a place filled with cars.
Yep.
You know what's one thing
when I was a kid, when I would get scared, I would just force myself to fall asleep. So I would just like start snoring, motherfucker. That's it.
I'll tell you one thing I'll never do is when the people sit on in tubes and they're on the water and they watch Jaws. That's one thing I would never.
Yeah, you're gonna get one of those crazy lake sharks. They're not going to the ocean. They're not going to the Atlantic Ocean.
I remember when I was younger, I used to think there was sharks.
Oh yeah, I thought there was in the swimming pool. Yeah. Like that's a puddle. You never know.
No, you never know.
So at that point, I'm like, I know there's nothing in the water, but I'm like, no, I wouldn't be able to sit in a freaking tube and watch Jaws in the middle of the lake.
Yeah. Have you guys? So Sergio's asking if any of us has seen Halloween Kills. Is it already out? I mean, assuming it's already out.
The 14th, I think.
So that's a no.
Well, it's Halloween Ends. The Halloween Kills was
yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah. That was. I mean,
it dies tonight.
Here's a little something I've brought up before, but in case you don't know, Halloween is probably my least favorite franchise of the big monster movie franchises that's out there. I just find it very boring. But whatever, I get it. I'm obviously not. I'm not. There's enough people that disagree with me 100%, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But everybody was up in arms with this Halloween Kills because it didn't have too much. I'm like, it's the middle movie. They're not gonna do everything in this they're gonna do enough to make you want to watch Halloween
Yeah.
Ends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're just going to be
That's
like, all right,
what-
I need another couple giant bags of money. Let's do this. And then we'll have another one that come out in like a year.
That's
And
what I
then,
said. That's what I said when we were watching it, and my kids like this. It just felt like a bunch of stuff put together, and I was like, yeah, they're just walking the dog to the next fucking film.
Yeah,
because they're legit. It just boom. It's a little middle, like slice of the middle of the cake onto the.
yeah,
So we'll see. We'll see because
we'll see.
Lori needs to leave him alone. He's, she's been chasing him for 4 years.
She's the bad guy now. She's the bad guy. He's like, Jesus, she's got a restraining order against her in this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, that being said, it's 10 o'clock, guys.
Hey, play that trailer one more time. Knifemare.
All right. I'm going to play Knifemare trailer one more time. Here we go. We'll be back in a minute and 11 seconds.
Knifemare. 4 friends on a getaway weekend.
He was hearing voices telling him to murder his whole family.
Let me assure you, miss, that the murders that you heard about that happened to you, it's all true.
Knifemare. But an uninvited guest
He shoots her right in the hand, splattering her brains all over the pillows.
has come.
He has killed, and he will kill again.
To ruin the fun. Knifemare. If you don't wake up, it's because you're already dead. Knifemare.
Hell yeah.
Right on, brother. Anyways,
Nice.
so we'll get people on for that.
Yeah,
again.
now we know we got more people. We could
We had
get
2 of the
Andrew on.
cast that are in the Hanover Archibald is the man.
Yeah.
It's just for the name alone, and it's not even his real name. But we'll have to get you guys on. I mean, even if the director can't come on because he's got to work. You guys have been in the movie. So, but anyways, so Angel, where can people go to follow your shenanigans?
That Strange Show. You can follow me there. Ryan and Mandy. Kevin, you've been coming on a lot lately, as I've been coming on here a lot lately. So we can find you there also. I think the next episode that I'm supposed to put up is the sadness.
Well, that's a fun episode.
Yeah, that is a good episode. So that's coming up soon. There, and then just see y'all on the internets.
Yeah, see all the emails.
Yeah,
MySpaces. Tony, what about you?
You can find me at Tony Has 9 Fingers on YouTube, where I do not as much, but movie reviews, unboxings. I got a whole bunch of stuff up there with anything movie related. Tony Has 9 Fingers on Twitter. Tony Has 9 Fingers on TikTok, which I do not work.
But you have a bunch of subscribers, so you can do whatever you want.
You could find me this month, especially doing the 31 Days Half October series, where it'll be a horror movie review for every single day. So 31 horror movie reviews in 31 days. So if you're interested in some movies you might not have heard of, check out my TikTok. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And of course, here on the Wicked Horror Show, whether we have a guest or we have a open horror movie discussion or anything along those lines. So check us out every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd say definitely join us live for some fun antics. But if you're listening,
Fantics.
Check us out there, and also check out the Wicked Horror Show Instagram.
Yeah, and the network too.
Dorkening, on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Yeah.
All those guys.
Yeah, go check out all the other shows. Like we mentioned, Horror Squad, and there's a bunch of other stuff on there. So for myself, you can just follow me, A-Knuckle, on Instagram. Besides doing this, I also am part of a couple other shows that aren't on the network, like Black and White Fright and Violence Buffet, and also All Our Yesterdays. So for next week, we're going to be talking about a movie called The House Among the Trees. So it's going to be Daniel John's going to be on. We're going to have Elsie Holt from You're Next. We're going to have Wes Robinson from Blair Witch is going to be coming back on.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, that'll be next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thanks for watching / listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bow, 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 bow.